Howdy YouTube. How you doing? I'm making another passive video, believe it or not. After many fans. All you 23 subscribers, thank you for subscribing, by the way. Bring this heater. Something that I've been working on for about 2 weeks. And I said I would make almost every day these 2 weeks. So now we're here. Hi. Obviously you see the tiers here, up and down. Run defining, very good, only okay, niche, and dog water. Can't say the actual word. YouTube will doesn't like bad words, apparently. They don't fuck with it. What else do we have? I guess that's really it. Let's get to the rating. And boom. We also have this. The background. That's pretty good. Alright, start off with boom, Avenging Armaments. So, in my notes, I have some notes up here. I really like Avenging Armaments. It's really good tempo in Paladin. It's not very good in Priest. I haven't really seen any Priest use it. But, in every single Paladin deck that runs at least like 5 Divine Shield minions, this is just an auto-include. Like, if you're respawning them from Tyrion's hero power, if you're giving them Divine Shield with certain Finley's hero power. The first tier passive works really well with this also. Being able to trade in and then shield back up, or... oh man, there's just so many things that you can do with this. This is obviously our first S tier. I can't believe we're putting our run defining first one in S tier, but honestly, I believe it. Anytime I'm playing Paladin, I'm okay that I hit this. I'm kind of okay with it. It's not like, I don't think I'd pick anything else except maybe an ultra rare, and even then I'd pick this over a lot of ultra rares. Alright, with that being said, we got the Band of Bees next. Band of Bees is passive. Whenever you play a minion that costs 2 or less, give it poisonous. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. But I don't know how amazing it is, because it is a tier 2 passive, and it is something that needs to really like affect the game for it to be powerful. And if you're a defensive deck, with small creatures like maybe Loot Hoarders, or maybe you're like the Boar Priest, you much rather want the Death Rattle one, the Reborn Death Rattle one, but we're going to talk about that later. This is not bad. You know, you put this on your eggs. I guess they can't attack your eggs. I don't know. I'm not making a good case for this. But it's not bad. I think I'd pick it if it's only okay. You know, it's only very specific. You have to have a lot of small cost minions because it is play. It's not summon. And that's going to be something that we're going to look at a lot of our different passives, is the difference between summon or play is very, very important. Very, very important, especially in these passives. So yeah, it's only okay. I don't think I'd pick it over anything that gives you tempo or card draw. But this is something that will help you stay defensive if you have a lot of small cards. And, you know, it can be incidentally good. I just haven't had any success with it. And, with that being said, we have the next one, Battle Stance. Your hero has 2 attack on your turn. That's not too shabby. I like that a lot. It's just immediate tempo. It keeps them on the backhand minion-wise, so that way you can clear the way for your minions. Let's see what my notes say here, actually. My keyboard. It's Pog. I said it's Pog and Quest Druid. Oh yeah, it's literally Cariel's Battle Cry. Can you believe that? Like, they just made Cariel's Battle Cry a passive. And, like, they refuse to admit that the weapon should probably lose durability. And that's what I literally put there in my notes is, Matt Damon Hunter. I put that image in your head, and I'm sorry. But that's about it, I think. Some things I guess to note about Battle Stance is it's good in Quest Druid. If you don't get goggles, then I mean Battle Stance is pretty cool. That's honestly, I feel like you take this no matter what, so that way you don't have to play crappy attack cards and you can just find your guff. You know what? If you're tired of actually winning with Druid, play Quest Druid for a change. Probably won't do good, but I bet it's really fun if you get Battle Stance. So, with that being said, even though I'd say Battle Stance actually very good. Attacking for 2 mana, like especially in later parts of the run when you're just throwing wet noodles at each other. This is like a way to make your noodle a little less wet. That sounded subliminal. That's just give you a little bit more power to finish off the game. So, very good. Very good. Alright, so Bronze Signet. Alexa. Oh, I'm unplugging you right now. Wow, almost ruined my video. You just see me decapitate Alexa. Alright. Back. Bronze Signet. So this is a polarizing card. It's really freaking good. Don't get me wrong. It is in between run defining and very good. Because it makes sure that you don't run out of tempo, and it also copies very, very key minions. And in strategies much like mechs or really mechs, pirates, things that require critical mass of creatures, especially like getting an extra mech warper, that's like able to dump your hand out turn 2. Happened to me, felt bad. Probably felt pretty good for the opponent. But yeah, I guess downsides to it are the fact that you can overdraw a lot. If you have too much card draw in your deck, or if you're just not able to like dump your hand, you're going to be burning things like crazy. And if you have really key cards in your deck, you have to be really conscious how you sequence your cards. Just don't be a dummy. I mean, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just draw all your 3-drops and you have nothing else in your hand. Feels bad, but it does happen. So, final consensus on Bronze Signet. I'm going to put it in very good, but above Battle Stance. Oh, and in this tier list, we're going to do rankings in the bracket. So that way you can see definitive power. It's not definitive power, but definitive objective Mac opinion. So with that being said, I think I've said enough about that. Cloak of Emerald Dreams. At the end of your turn, add a dream card to your hand. So, I'm going to put all the dream cards up here. And I'm probably just going to name them off. You have Dream, the 1 mana that saps. You have Nightmare. You have a 4 mana 7/6. You have a 2 mana 3/5, and you have Ysera Awakens. Please correct me if I missed anything. But all those cards are actually not bad per se. You get one a turn. You can stack them up, especially if you're a deck that really lacks card draw and you're a deck that needs more like present threats. And like, because a 4 mana 7/6 is not bad. But again, it comes to the problem of hand size. Because you can be stacking up all these cards from Cloak of the Emerald Dreams, but you can also just have a bunch of Nightmares in your hand. I've seen it happen. And most of the time you can get value out of your Nightmares and make them burn spells. But it's really, really difficult to manage, especially if you have like 3 Ysera. It's really just a problem getting crappy cards in multiples. Like, if you're not looking for one of the cards it generates, it just feels really bad having just a crappy, like, Twilight Sister in your hand. But it's good, and, like, Rogue and stuff that, like, it gives you removal in decks that normally that have problems in removal, so I'd say, like, Rogue, I wouldn't say Demon Hunter, I literally just, ignored two of these notes. But yeah. What would I rank this? I would say it's only okay. Like, with Rogue, you can find better things. With... What's another class that would really appreciate this? I don't know. It's only okay. It's only okay just because it gives you a card. And maybe it wins you the game sometimes because you get lucky. And that's all I have to say on that card. But next is a card that is fucking bog. I love it. It's on my notes I just said Demon Hunter loves this. And am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I love playing with Corrupted Felstone. I actually just played a run today with Corrupted Felstone, and you play the lady who attacks, and if you cast a spell, and you can buffer in your hand, and she gets really big, and you just kill people in like one turn. It feels good. It's really good. But you have to draw the lady also. And, fun fact, did you know, if you only have one minion in your hand, this buffs that minion twice, because it considers the minion on the left and right side. I didn't even think about that. And that makes so much sense. Because one time in my run today, I only had her in my hand, and I was about to just get clobbered by a big minion. But I looked at her, I'm like, why is she a 10-10? I mean, like a 10-12. She should just be half that. And my brain's wired a lot better, and I figured it out. It's great. I love it. Killed them. Won that game. Threw the next game, and I lost the run. But you know what? With that being said, this is actually just a niche card. This is our first niche card of the run. Because I would say it's run defining, but it's only run defining in Demon Hunter. And only Fel Demon Hunter. You literally have to high roll to get this. So yeah, I like it. I like this card as a niche card. It's fun. Feels bad to lose to sometimes though. Feels really bad whenever they draw their lady. With that being said, Deathly Death. After a friendly minion dies, trigger the death rattle of a friendly minion. So this is the first. Give a round of applause to the first in the dog shit tier. Fucking dog shit. Come on. Deathly Death. You have to have 2 Death Rattle minions on the board. Have another Death Rattle minion die. And then possibly hit the Death Rattle minion that you want. The only situation I have seen this be better than something we're about to talk about in front of this is with Greybow. Because you can like trigger, so you can have Greybow and a not Greybow thing. And you have the not Greybow thing trigger onto the Greybow, or you trigger onto something that's not a Greybow, and then you have infinite Greybows at that point. I said that tree's name wrong probably a lot, but that's the only time. So if you're playing a druid and this is the only thing that looks pickable, take it. It's pretty fun. It literally fills up your board, I think, for free wins. I have to get video on it. I'll have to do some science for you. But it's dog shit otherwise. Sorry, Deathly Death. I wanted you to be good. I tried. It's not good with leper gnomes. It's not good. It's just, you have to have another thing die and you're just losing at that point. Like, this is just like, this honestly could be a tier 1 in my opinion. But maybe it's too good in tier 1. I'd like to see it though. Blizzard. Put it on tier 1. Listen to me. Hear me. I know y'all are watching. I know y'all got an agent here. No, they don't. So, now. Dragonbone Ritual. This card used to be good. This card is... I'm just going to put it in the niche category to save it from the pity of being in the same category as Deathly Death. But Dragonbone Ritual used to be good whenever the Dragon Affinity was around. Whenever you had just free fairy dragons and you had like 2 mana Twilight Drakes. Yeah, this was great. You get to respawn, get extra tempo, get extra value out of your dragons. But now that there's not really a dragon high roll anymore, this is just niche. And honestly, it wasn't my favorite. It was alright. But I think you'd rather want, like, and this is just going to be something that you hear throughout this whole thing, is Emerald Goggles is probably one of the best. I'm talking more about Emerald Goggles than Dragonbone Ritual. So let's spare you the thing and just say, niche and get out with it. Same thing with our Draconic Dream. But at this point, this comes with a caveat. This is actually just a worse Scroll of Wonders. Yeah, you get a random dragon. That's great. That's fantastic. But in order to have an amount of dragons, dreams in your deck shuffled in, you either have to empty your deck and then play the dragons, or just play a fuck ton of dragons, which does not happen. Like, I know this from experience. It's really, really hard to get a good amount of dreams so you can draw them consistently and, like, keep that tempo without them just getting murdered in cold blood. And sometimes you can hit, like, a high roll like Nozdormu or, like, a 4 of 12, but most of the time that doesn't happen. So, let's just save it from being only okay and put it in niche. Ooh. This Emerald. This Eerie Stone. I feel like a lot of people don't respect this card. But just because it doesn't really have a home in duels right now. But it doesn't have a home
because Diablo isn't in duels anymore. Blizzard, bring Diablo back. I want Eerie Stone to be good again. Because
honestly, Eerie Stone, I played Diablo a lot. And Eerie Stone was really, really fucking good with Diablo. Especially if you missed out on, I think, what else? If you missed out on a couple other passives, I don't know, you kill their thing. You play a lot of shadow spells with Diablo. You kill their things. You take their cool treasures. Oh, that's a really good interaction, is taking treasures and also taking quest rewards. So Eerie Stone actually gets better the stronger your opponents are. So farther in the run, Eerie Stone will most likely get better, because you're going to be seeing more high rolls. Because it's survivor bias kind of stuff. You know how it goes. But imagine, like, you have the 3 mana Diablo treasure, someone plops down, I don't know, what could they plop down? A Grimmer Patron. They Grimmer Patron, you kill the Grimmer Patron, you steal their Grimmer Patron, and you win the game because you're Diablo. That's my imaginary Christmas land. But this is me gushing about Eerie Stone, and this is me gushing way too much only to put it in the only okay tier. It's not dog shit. It's not dog shit, but
Diablo needs to come back.
Alright. Elixir of Vigor. I don't know how I feel about this card. So, how it interacts with giants is pretty cool. So you get basically free giants. But, I guess Elixir of Vigor. I have not been reading these things off. After you play a minion, shuffle 2 copies into your deck. They cost 3. This is the same problem as anything that shuffles cards into your deck. I hate things that shuffle cards into your deck. I think it's really just like luck of the draw, obviously, but I think it. How do I explain this? You have to have a lot of draw in your deck for it to work. And if you're playing fat minions with the Elixir, it's really, really hard to draw those cards unless you're a druid. Albeit, this saves you from fatigue. So if you're ever going to go to fatigue in duels, which doesn't happen that often, then this wins you the long game. But aside from that, it is not my favorite and only okay. Alright, this is my boy right here. This is my sweet boy. These are my things. These are my lenses. Look at these goggles. So good. The leftmost card of your hand costs 2 less. But not less than 1. Not even less than 2. Less than 1. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? It turns your 4 drops into 2 drops. And your 5 drops into 3 drops. Like, you can guff on turn 3 easily with this card. And not easy, like, you have to have it on the left side of your hand, and with Demon Hunter shows it, you have to finagle it a little bit. But this leads to so many explosive plays and so many powerful turns, especially if you just have left card, left card, left card, left card, left card, left card, left card. You just can sometimes win the game. I'm sure there's a clip on my channel that's shown Emerald Goggles pop off at some point. This is like the best of the best. This is the standard for mana cheat. If your mana cheat is better than this, then I think you're going to be moved into ultra rare. So Emerald Goggles, S tier, the best. How many things can I say about it so that way you do know it's one of the best cards in duels? And they did fix it to where you see Emerald Goggles less, and it makes me so sad. And makes me so sad. Like, it actually upsets me because I miss having free wins with Emerald Goggles. I don't even know, like, because they changed the synergy. Like, they said they changed how the deck interacts and how you get given Emerald Goggles, and I have not figured that out. And if I can figure out how to make Emerald Goggles good and how to make it consistent, I will share with you guys. Alright. This card is actually quite exciting. This card is quite good. This is Endurance Training. Your taunt minions cost 3 less, but no less than 2. This is so good. So freaking good. If you have 5-drop taunts into your deck, you're casting them for 2 mana. You are so ahead of tempo. This is actually almost better than Emerald Goggles sometimes. But, caveat. You have to have a lot of taunt minions in your deck. And I don't play that many taunt minions. I don't know if you're a big taunt warrior player. Maybe you can make a deck that abuses getting Endurance Training, but it's at that point you're trying to like roll and high roll for a passive, and that's kind of sketchy sometimes. But with that being said, Endurance Training in the right deck, and if you can fit it into your deck, I'm gonna make it very good. It's actually gonna be the top of very good, because if I see more decks with it, and if I see more ways to abuse it, again, I will tell you guys. But this is a card to look out for the more taunt minions that get printed. Why is all together now all the way over here? Alright, well, all together now. Your Battle Cries cards cost 1 less, but not less than 2. That's not too bad. This actually used to be a tier 1 passive, believe it or not. And you'd actually be surprised how many cards in Hearthstone have the word Battle Cry on them. Most Death Knights have the word Battle Cry on them. A lot of minions have Battle Cry. Weapons have Battle Cry. I mean, I'm just naming off every single type of thing. But like, if you look at all together now and you get offered all together now, take a look at your deck. And then take a look at your deck again and make sure you see every Battle Cry. Because there's some really sneaky Battle Cries out there. Not the most premier mana cheat, but it definitely works in Murlocs, and it helps. You know what? It's good mana cheat. So let's put it in run defining, because that's where most run defining cards are made. Alright. So, Flame Wave. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh my. I fucking hated Flame Waves for the longest time ever. In a very, very distant past. Flame Waves actually used to be all enemies. And that was just miserable, because you just sit back and you try to play minions, but then they play Fire Spell, Fire Spell, Fire Spell, Fire Blast you, and then at the end of the turn, and then you're like, oh, I have no board, so you rebuild your board again, and then they just do the same thing again, and you're at some point you just like are like at 12, and then you're at 0, and ugh, so annoying. This used to be a run-defining card. But since they took away, like, the big damage that you could do to face with it, I only think, compared to, other cards that you would be running in Mage, especially in a lot of other strategies in Mage, Flame Waves is finally taking a backseat, and God bless. I love playing minions. I'm a big minion fan, and this does not like minions. So, we're gonna put it in very good. But maybe it could be only okay. It's just because I haven't seen it a lot. And that leads into Flames of the Kirin Tor. So, Flames of the Kirin Tor is an interesting card. I mean, interesting. I don't know if I've said. These can be cards. After you cast your first fire spell in a turn, add a fireball to your hand. So, and obviously you play this in Plaguebringer, can't be overloaded Shaman, and you just fireball someone for 6 to their face each turn. That's just duh. Is this good in any other strategy other than that? It's mid. It's alright. It's because 4 mana is a lot to pay for a card if you're not Druid. I mean, it is just a fireball. It is inevitability. I honestly just think it is very good. I think you can take this whenever you have a couple of fire spells and just live off of the infinite value. You can just use this for clearing minions also. So I'll put it on top of here. On top of very good. Close to run defining. It's run defining if it's in Shaman, but not universally run defining. Gaurdian Light. This card, incidental tokens, kind of mid. This is like, how many holy spells really are in the game, and how many of them do you really want to be casting? Right, you have Rally, you have Librams, but you want those to cost less. You know what? This card sucks. This is fucking dog shit. Get the fuck out of here, Gaurdian Light. Who the fuck told you could be here? This, honestly, if it were trigger only once a turn, this would be great in Tier 1. This would be great for, like, the holy package in Tier 1. I don't know if that's too good or not. Alright. Well, and that's enough of that. That's just a bad passive. Alright, so here's another one of my least favorite cards. Glacier Downpour. At the end of your turn, summon a 3/6 water elemental if you've cast a frost spell this turn. Now that's dog shit. Fuck you. Who said a free water elemental was just okay for Mage to have? They're already freezing your board. Literally every single turn. They have Blizzard, they have Frost Nova, they have the Lady who freezes, there's just so much, and once they have like infinite deck, they can just keep on making, of course, the tempo isn't insurmountable, but especially whenever they combo Glacial Downpour this with Freeze Solid, which doubles damage dealt to frozen enemies. This is a very, very powerful combination, and you know what? This is finally a run-defining card Or the mages. Thank you. Yay, mages. You did it. You're good. Who would have thought? That's enough. That's enough mage salt, I guess. Here's actually an interesting one. This is actually one of my favorite tier 2 passives. I don't know how good it is, but greedy gains. Your minions get 2/2, +2/+2, but cost 2 more. So obviously what stands out to me is tokens. I go crazy on these tokens. I would go crazy if I had, like, either the druid make treants hero power, the demon hunter make attack hero power, even Sir Fenley's summon a murloc, summon an amalgam hero power. Anything that summons a minion that doesn't get their cost upgraded is just absolutely nuts. Any card that generates tokens becomes infinitely better, and this honestly changes how you look at the game 100%. You can put this in a deck with full of big minions, and it won't even do anything if it's a 10-drop. Crazy. But in order to give it an objective rating, I think, sadly, it's going to be the top of only okay. It's mid between very good and only okay, just because of how much it kind of messes up your deck if you have minions in your deck. It really throws you off curve, and if your deck is mostly minions, you cannot take greedy gains, and it's sad. Let's see. Hagathas Embrace. At the start of your turn, give 2 random minions in your hand, +1/+1. You know what? Not bad. And especially in minion-based decks, like mechs, especially mechs, anything that you can stack up charge damage. So if you have like Leroy or anything that just attacks the face immediately, really, really good to stack 1/1 on there. What insight can I give about this? This is better with Divine Shield and Rushes. This is worse on less reactive cards that just sit there and get killed anyways. Is it at the start? And it's at the start, so it's not too bad, but it's only okay. I think it's only okay. You can usually find something better in your aggro deck. And you're like the slower, more tempo-y. I don't know. You can surprise a couple of people, but in my experience, the 1/1 hits the wrong thing almost every time, and you just feel like an idiot for picking it. Okay. Heavy armor. Fuck this card. Fuck this. This is the most dog shit. This is gonna be at the bottom no matter. This is the most fucking dog shit tier 2 passive you can get. You only have 10 health, and every damage deals 1. Sure, maybe you can partition that, but you're just gonna get killed by somebody who is able to meet that requirement. And at the end of like duels runs, you have 40 health to start off with, so you're effectively cutting your health in a fourth. Like, it just feels bad. Like, big white token strategies gets you. It stops like big fat minions from getting you, but like, I don't know, the decks that want heavy armor can deal with the big fat minions and need to take some damage from small minions to survive. Like, it's fine if you can heal, but like, if you have armor, you take regular damage with your armor. You don't even take 1 damage if you have armor, so you can't even stack it. Like, that's ridiculous. Absolutely lunatic. Crazy. I don't know. I'm just the amount of hate I have for this, because I had to take this one time. I had to. I couldn't not take it. I needed to do it for science, and it was fine. It saved me a couple of times, but I just lost to 2 decks that literally just filled their board up with minions. I couldn't deal with their minions, and they fucking killed me. So yeah, heavy armor, big fucking boo from me. Idols of Elune. At the end of your turn, cast a spell that you've cast this turn. Targets are chosen randomly. So this card is not bad if you have untargeted effects. This passive gets way worse the more targeted effects you have, because targets being random really causes a lot of chaos in the game of Hearthstone. And if you're casting Wild Growths or Overgrowths or, I don't know, Priest stuff, Resurrects, I don't know, if you're casting nice juicy spells, armor spells, it's great. Board clears, fantastic. But otherwise, you know, your removal is just gonna hit the minion that you want. It's gonna recast the coin whenever you do the coin. I don't know. It's just too luck dependent. But I've been talking about really bad about it, but I'm putting it in very good, because there are some strategies that are just so good with your cards being doubled, especially with passives, such as like freezing cold. That this just it gets it. You know, it's good when it's really good. When it's really good and you have like a really good deck for it. You know. But of course, all of duels, you kind of have to have a certain strategy and a certain plan for your deck. You can't just go completely blind, random things. All right, here's a card that I'm just gonna fucking put. This is dog shit. Fucking again, this has the same problem with literally any card that shuffles cards into your deck. And it's like one of the worst kind of things to shuffle into your deck, which is just 3 3s. It's just you get random 3 3s maybe, and of course you can go to fatigue and have like a full board of 3 3s, but you could be getting so much more, like Corrupted Felstone. I don't know. It's just, stop shuffling things into your opponent's deck and literally just get something that gives you instant value. Literally, like, stop shuffling things. It just doesn't work. You will never draw it, and when you do, it's at the wrong time. So yeah, we already put that in F tier, dog water tier. But on a better note, Iron Roots. Iron Roots are pretty good. I really like playing Iron Roots in Shaman or in Druid. Both ways, it's really good. There's nature spells everywhere in Druid, less nature spells in Shaman, but still enough to make this just, like, sometimes you can just get 10 damage worth of charge damage by just playing random nature spells. Especially if you play Natural Studies in your deck or Lightning Bloom. Rest in peace, by the way. Got nerfed to fucking hell. Yeah, just look at every card in Hearthstone and realize how many of them are nature spells and how many of them are, like, not bad nature spells. So, with this being said, this is a run-defining card because it gives you tempo, and it also... it says when you cast a nature spell, give a random friendly minion +2/+2 in taunt. And that taunt is super important, actually. Sometimes it screws you and lets them attack your minion that you want to be, like, hiding behind other taunts. But other time, this is, like, a crucial way to get protection from a very lethal board. There's been a couple of times where I've just been able to nature spell into the small aggro deck, and they're just not able to attack into my thing without just deleting their whole board. Any more things I can say about this? Yeah, pick it if you have nature spells and you have minions. That's about it. Alright. Khadgars Scying Orb. Your spells cost 1 less. And it says just 1 less, not less than 0. So things can cost 0. This shit's crazy. This shit's fucking nuts. Like, I don't know how you're gonna get things to cost 0, but you're totally going to. Like if you're a mage, if you're a priest, like okay. Thought experiment here. We're bringing down the energy level here, but look at a spell. Look at your favorite spell. Reduce its cost by 1. Is it better? Duh. Yeah. Take Khadgars Scying Orb. I never fucking get this. I wish I got this more. Run defining. Absolutely. Like, I've gotten it in Quest Hunter. I don't play much mage. I've gotten it in Shaman. Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Here we go. So another banger of a card. Meek Mastery. Meek Mastery is so fucking good. If you're playing Pirates, if you're playing Murlocs, if you're playing Drekthar, if you're playing Vandar, if you're literally playing any neutral minion that costs more than 3, you just get infinite more value. Like, and even your minions that cost less than 2 and don't get discounted still get +1/+1. Tokens still get +1/+1 if they're neutral. This is nutso. I think this is hands down one of the best treasures to get, especially if you're newer to duels and just like have more basic cards. Like, this card will carry you. The tempo it just brings tempo. It just brings power. It just run defining. Absolutely. Run defining, but not as powerful, I think, as these. This is basically an all together now, though. So we're gonna put all together now and Meek Master together. They're not the same thing, but basically the same thing. All right, Mulch Madness. Mulch Madness is going at the top of dog water. Just because... you know what? It's going in dog water. Just because... most of the time when your minions are dying, they're not dying on your turn. They're dying because your minions killing them. I mean, your opponents are killing them. And... it's really hard. Like, okay, so... Mulch Madness says, whenever a neutral minion dies on your turn, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. You say, that's fine. That's ramp. And it's unexpected ramp, and it's pretty good if you have a lot of neutral minions. And it says any neutral minions, so your opponent's neutral minions are fair game too. But you can't control how many neutral minions your opponent have. And this is fine. It's randomly good. You know what? Bottom of only okay, because this is randomly good and sometimes just wins you games. And I'm gonna say in dog water, none of these cards are able to win you games by themselves, basically. All right. So yeah, what did I say? I guess I said my piece on Mulch Madness. I guess pick it if you have like a lot of Murlocs or Pirates. Ooh, Mulch Madness actually pretty good if you have patches. The patches, passive. The one if you summon a pirate, summon a patches. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Moving on to Mummy Magic. After you play a Death Rattle minion, give it Reborn. This actually is the centerpiece to many strategies in Hearthstone duels, especially one called Boar Priest. And I fucking hate how good it is, because these warrior hunters, these brands, just find all their boars. They shuffle a bunch of boars, and then they give them Death Threat, then they give them Reborn, and then they just kill them a bunch, and then I'm getting hit by a 15-3 weapon on turn 5. It's like ridiculous. It's insane. I hate it. That's why it's going in Run Defining, because it's so good. It's actually hot take, better than your Death Rattles trigger twice passive, due to the fact that this gives you extra tempo. Yeah, you're backloading some of the value and you can get silenced, but that Death Rattle can get silenced anyways with the Death Rattle totem. I almost would like to see a world where Mummy Magic and Death Rattle totem were switched, but I like Mummy Magic a lot. I really like Mummy Magic. Let's see. Oops, all spells. So this passive is at the start of the game, destroy all minions in your deck. Your spells cost 1 less. So Oops All Spells is really funny, especially with the name, because I'm not sure exactly where the origins of this passive came from, but I believe it might be inspired by Magic players. Because there used to be an archetype, well, I guess there still is an archetype in Magic called Oops All Spells, and they literally don't play anything but spells in their deck. They don't play any lands, and this is I feel like this is homage to it, because it kind of does the same thing. It takes away a vital resource, and you just have to work with your really powerful spells. Of course, it works a little bit different in Magic, but I do think this is like the perfect interpretation of Hearthstone's Oops All Spells, and I love it. I love this. This used to give spell damage, and I think cost less. I'm not sure, but this used to give spell damage, people. Like they were like, oh, deleting all your minions, that's too much. We have to give you a lot. But we soon realized that the spell damage was a little bit too much. I've gotten this a couple of times. Feels good, especially if you like have the small amount of spells in your deck and you're able to like weave in some powerful treasures. You can have just this really focused, really strong like 15 card deck that if it's a solid enough strategy, you might just be able to scam a couple wins with a small deck. Although it has to be very specific. I'm gonna put it at the bottom just because of how specific your deck has to be, and your deck cannot just be bad with all spells, because if it's bad with all spells, then you're screwed. Let's see. Orb of Revelation. This card? Dog water. I think it's at the top of dog water, though. The problem is... No, this is niche. This is niche. I'll put it in niche. I'll save it. I'll save you some embarrassment orb. Just because, I think especially in, like, Discover Bran, the Quest Priest, that this can be quite good in, like, rearranging, especially in Quest Priest, like, making something the cost you need to be to trigger your quest. But sometimes this card just hurts you, especially in that strategy. You know, I'll keep it at niche. Just, I don't know, because I don't know where else. I don't want to put it in dog water with these things. Let's see. Rally the Troops. So Rally the Troops, I see that a lot less now. I feel like they changed how that interacts with decks. You have to have a lot more battle cries in your deck for you to get Rally the Troops, but it's really good because it's really just being rewarded for being aggressive and playing on curve and playing tempo. Like if you can discount a hero card, if you can discount, you can do a lot. Like, I don't know, like if you can think of something that's good discounted and just drawing a card anytime you play a battle cry, I think you'll be happy playing the Rally the Troops. And I think this is run defining. I think we might have to rebalance this tier list at the end. Let's see. Ring of Refreshment. I have played with this card maybe twice. And I don't think it's very good. Let's put it in dog water. Because the spells there are not many hero powers that I think are good enough to be hit over and over again while you're playing spells. Unless it's free. Unless your hero power is free. But I don't see many free hero powers in duels. Unless there's a specific way to abuse this, I really just don't see the strength in it. Yeah, you can get double hero power hit. Maybe this is good in Diablo. But, like, it's a 3 mana hero power at that point. I don't know. This is my controversial take. That Ring of Refreshment is dog shit. Someone in the comments, someone down here, tell me I'm wrong. Please give me an awesome deck that uses Ring of Refreshment and prove me wrong. Alright. Let's see. Ring of Black Ice. Whenever a minion is frozen, add a copy of it to your hand. This is dog shit. This is just Murabi. And literally every other single Frost spell passive is better than this. And there are just other passives you want to be taking instead of adding crappy copies of minions to your hand. Obviously, I gave Eerie Stone a better ranking than this, but this also Eerie Stone also discounted the card, and most of the time killed the minion that you're targeting. Oh yeah, it has to kill the minion that you're targeting. So this doesn't even kill the minion that you're wanting to deal with, and it's just freezing, and you're not getting anything else except for that. And it's just you're too back on tempo for this to be a tier 2 passive. So yeah, dog water. Runic Helm. At the end of your turn, add a random Death Knight card to your hand. See, I'm going to rank this around the same as Cloak. Where are you, Cloak? I'm going to put this right next to Cloak. Hi, Cloak. Just because Death Knight cards are basically the same thing as Dream cards, except one is way worse. You get a 7-mana weapon. Yeah, well, that's really good. The 7-mana weapon is quite good, but you know what? Let's name off all the Death Knight cards that I know. We have Frostmourne, which is 5 mana, 7 mana, 5/3 weapon that resummons every minion it kills. We have 3 mana, deal damage to all 3 damage to all enemies. Deal 5 damage to an enemy or restore 5 health to a friendly character. What are we missing? We're missing. Steal a minion from your opponent's deck. So honestly, the Death Knight cards are a little bit worse, but also have a little bit more chance to be. They're a little bit more swingy. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take this card unless you're really lacking card generation. Same thing as Emerald Cloak, though. Let's move on. Alright, this is another run definer that is kind of crept on me lately. Special Delivery. I actually crafted Rokara for this, and this treasure is so good. It's after you play a rush minion, summon a copy with 1 health. And it seems underwhelming at first, but then you look at every single rush minion, and you just getting another free rush minion is just so much board tempo that you will always keep the board. You will never not have the board with the Special Delivery. There are a lot of interactions with doubling minions. And today I learned that the first passive that gives your minions rush, also let Special Delivery copy them. That's insane. Somebody got like a double ETC on me and just clobbered my face. Props to him for finding that interaction. Yeah, Run Definer, like one of the best. One of the best warrior warrior passives. Oh man, we're getting close. These are the last 2. Oh my goodness. And then we're gonna have our ultra rare lightning round. I'm just gonna talk about the ultra rares. I don't think I'm gonna rank them. Maybe I can rank them. Alright, but let's talk about the card at hand, Spreading Sapling. After you cast a nature spell, summon a 2/2 Treant. And that's really good. That is actually comparable to Iron Roots. But it is not immediate damage, but it is tempo and board presence for Druid decks that normally won't have minions. So if you get offered this and Iron Roots, it really depends what kind of Druid you are. If you're the tempo Druid, you take Iron Roots. But if you're just the stay back and chill and just like take your trades and like win eventually Druid, Spreading Saplings, because you're forcing your opponent to deal with your board, and sometimes you just won't have a minion for Iron Roots, especially as like a non-creature, I'll say not Drekthar Druid. What else can I say? Really good. Really good with Treants energy. Really good with the guy who makes your Treants +1 for the rest of the game. Helps. I don't know. Not bad. Arbor. Trees. I like trees. I'm just a big fan of Druid in general. I don't think this is a run definer. This is just very good. And then our last one. Our last real, I guess not ultra rare, is Unlock Potential. Passive at the start of the game, set the attack of each of your minions equal to itself. So this doesn't, and immediately, this doesn't give you card advantage, and this hardly gives you tempo. But honestly, there's been a couple of times where this is the only thing I could pick, and it served me pretty well. Like, sometimes I'll just have minions with fat butts in my deck. I'll have random 1/3s. I'll have, it makes any random 1/3 a 3/3. And that's really, really freaking good. This is just the most mid. This is so freaking mid, and this could be so much better. So this is only okay. What else can I say about it? Are there any special interactions that I can see with it? Injured Blade Master, that's kind of funny. I don't think so. Like, I mean, minions like dragons get way better. Like, every 4/12 dragon gets way better. I don't know. It's fine. It's just mid as fuck. It's just mid as hell. So, I guess now let's talk about ultra rare. The ultra rare speed round. I don't want to really just like rank them with everything else. But let's just quick thoughts and scummy pick or not if you see it. Nope. Let's just do this right here. Alright, so Battle Totem. Classic case of a card that used to be actually in the game. Was too good to be not an ultra rare, and it's really good as an ultra rare. I would pick it. It makes all your Death Knight hero card battle cries trigger twice. You have a lot of battle cries, take it. Really, really good. Captured Flag, ultimate tempo. If you have a lot of minions in your deck and you're playing a lot of minions every turn, take it. It's really good. You're gonna not regret taking it. Disc of Legends, fuck this card whenever it was not an ultra rare. Because people would literally only put fucking legendaries in their deck and just take Disc of Legends and win the game because they put all legendaries in their deck. And that's just such bad deck building incentivization. So I'm glad this is an ultra rare, and it's dog shit as an ultra rare because you can't build around it like that. If you happen to be playing almost all legendary minions, sure, maybe you'll find this good. Double Time, fucking nuts. Like, it's literally Idols of Elune, but immediately, and that makes so much more difference. I don't know why it makes so much difference, but being able to get that instant value of that thing that you cast often lets you catapult and often lets you win the game almost single-handedly with a couple of powerful cards. Expedited Burial. This card used to be legal, and this card was fucking nuts. It was so good. If you randomly are playing the Death Rattle Hunter and you see Expedited Burial, take it. I don't think I see any other use in it, though. So, Expedited Burial, thanks for being good whenever you weren't an ultra rare. Legendary loot. On the first turn, discover a legendary weapon and equip it. Ugh. Scummy way to take games before it was an ultra rare. Most of the time, my legendary loot experience as an ultra rare and not an ultra rare was, I see legendary loot, they start their turn, they get the Storm Chaser, or they get the one that summons, or the one that summons a minion from your deck, and I just lose. Like, that's just usually how it goes. Either that or they hit Twig of the World Tree, and just big pogs. 2 high rolly, 2, it feels bad to play against. Mana Storm. If you're not a druid, players start with 10 mana crystals. If you're not a druid, don't play this. You're not going to surprise anybody, and you're just going to lose a druid with a guff in hand. Yeah, just don't take it, but it's fun. I played a druid run with it. So good, so good. But don't play it in not druid. Again, I'm telling you. Mantle of Ignition. This was really good in
Diablo.
but I guess it was too good. You got too much random value out of just casting random spells. I don't know. I like Mantles of Ignition. Helps your buff spells. It's really good with buff spells. I can see why they put it in ultra rare though. Makes me sad though. Really cool. Really cool passive. Party Replacement, just nuts. It's good baseline. If you're a good tempo minion-y deck. Honestly, if you're not a good tempo minion deck and there's not anything better in the passive pool, take it. It's an ultra rare, so you should take it. Just have fun with it. But you know, if you see this and you think you don't need a 2/2 every turn, skip it. But you know, you need a 2/2 every turn. Robes of the Magi. Okay, take your favorite spell that deals damage and add 3 damage to it. Boom, Robes of the Magi. Next, Scepter of Summoning. I cannot believe how long this was not an ultra rare and how many people, well, you know who ruined it? Vandar ruined Spectre of Summoning because you would just fill your hand full of fat minions and just play them on turn 4. You can coin it on turn 3. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. But I love it. Love it. Oh, Spectre of Summoning. Your minions that cost 5, more than 5 cost 5. I cannot believe this was not an ultra rare. Alright, and the card that they had to, once they released it, they had to nerf it almost immediately into ultra rare, Shadowcasting 101. After you play your first minion each turn, add a 1/1 copy of it to your hand, it costs 1. Now this is, I've seen a couple of people with this, but apparently this is just a more high skill level card because every time I play against Shadowcasting 101, I just beat them. They don't select the card that, I don't know, I guess this card you need to use a lot of discretion and get a lot of value with this because you can get a lot of value with this. Stargazing fucking nuts, especially with Drekthar, especially with anything that summons minions, any hero powers. You can use your hero power twice and it costs 1 less. Like, think about your hero power that you want to do that with. Nuts. There are some hero powers that even become free with Stargazing. Pick it if you have a good hero power. Sadly, you can't pick it with those passive hero powers, which is kind of sad, but also kind of funny at the same time. Sunstrider's Crown. This is just Kael'thas. If your deck would be good with a Kael'thas, take the permanent Kael'thas. What a concept. And Totem of the Dead. Your death rattles trigger twice. It's fine. It's just not. It's not Mummy Magic. I think Mummy Magic is better than this. Of course, they had to. I think with Symmetry, they just had to put the totems away. But I don't know. I feel like this could come back, and this would not be too abrasive. And the last card, I guess we're gonna talk about in this tier list, and this is about an hour. I don't know if I'm gonna have to cut any of this. Turn it, me being a one-take Andy and everything. Unstable Magic. This card, fuck this card whenever it wasn't a ultra rare. Mages would literally just play, get an arcane spell, get an arcane spell, get an arcane spell, and you would literally have no minions ever. And you would just lose and have a bunch of sheeps. And this was also around the time that Reno was introduced, and the Wildfire wasn't banned yet. So Reno was literally just turning everything into sheep and wildfiring and hero powering you for like 300 damage per turn. Wow. That was a lot. I need a drink of water. I guess just to wrap up, thanks for watching, guys. I don't know if how informative this was for you, so please, like, comment, subscribe if you want more tier list action. I'll give you more tier list action. There's more things to talk about. There's more things to rant about. You just have to let me know. My name is Mack The Catastrophe, and I desperately hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you on the flip side.